Hello and welcome. Paizo was kind enough to send me a copy, so let's dive into Starfinder GM Core, one of the foundational rulebooks for Starfinder 2nd Edition. Whether you're a longtime GM or brand new to the system, this book is packed with guidance, subsystems, and setting details, so let's break down 10 things that you should know before bringing it to your table. First up, compatibility. Starfinder GM Core is fully compatible with Pathfinder 2nd Edition, so if you're a Pathfinder vet, you're going to see a lot of familiarity between Starfinder GM Core and Pathfinder GM Core. And if you're not already a Pathfinder player, you can expect this book to give you everything you need to run and create games of your own. This book provides guidance for running encounters, downtime, giving out treasure and rewards, building your world in locations like cities, and more. In those regards, this book is very similar to Pathfinder, just with minor tweaks like turning gold into credits. Starfinder GM Core also includes frameworks for a variety of subsystems like victory points, influence, research, chase scenes, and infiltration. These rules help GMs model significant moments within the story other than personal combat. This can be anything from political debates to high-speed pursuits. And pro tip, the published adventures by Paizo love to use these subsystems, so if you're planning to run a 2nd edition Starfinder adventure path, you'll definitely want to review these rules. As you might expect, this book also includes familiar variant rules like free archetype and proficiency without level, but not everything in this book is just a port from Pathfinder. Starfinder GM Core also includes a few new variant rules like Ancestry Paragon that lets players lean hard into their ancestry by gaining 11 ancestry feats over their career instead of the usual 5. The Skill Paragon variant rule helps to ensure players don't feel pressured to only choose skill feats that help with combat. With this variant rule, players choose one skill and gain all common rarity skill feats for that skill as they level up. So someone could choose to be an expert pilot without having to worry about whether or not the campaign will even feature starship combat and not have to sacrifice other feat choices to do so. Or a player might choose to be an expert in diplomacy without sacrificing more combat-centric skill feats. The new Galactic Hero Points variant rule helps to ensure players never feel like spending hero points is a waste by raising any D20 result lower than 10 to a 10 when spending a hero point. And expanded space variant rules can be used to create more realistic encounters in space. For example, eliminating most energy damage in a vacuum and applying kickback due to recoil when firing a weapon in space. Chapter 3 revisits the Packed Worlds, Near Space, and the Vast. If you've played Starfinder 1st Edition, you will notice a few updates and refinements. Worlds like Abalon, Castrovel, and Akaton are all present, alongside Aox, Triaxis, Leovara, and more. And each of these locations includes a section titled Recent Events that helps GMs bridge the lore gap between 1st and 2nd editions of Starfinder. Likewise, GM Core provides brief information on 27 deities and other philosophies, including their edicts and anathemas. Also, cyber intrusions are now fully codified. The hacking subsystem provides structured encounters for digital infiltration, whether PCs are slicing into corporate servers or disabling security systems. This plays out similarly to dealing with hazards, with each computer having its own stat block and dividing computers into simple computers and complex computers. Like dealing with hazards, simple computers can be dealt with quickly, while complex computers may require several rounds. And vehicles aren't just set dressing anymore, they're now completely rules ready. GM Core covers everything from inner cycles darting through neon-lit streets to cargo haulers. But this comes as a little bit of good news and bad news. The good news is yes, this book has space vehicles. The bad news is there's only 2, and I wouldn't call either of them a starship. GM Core provides stats for a drop pod and a wake skimmer that's basically a wave runner that can launch itself into space. That said, the book does provide rules for what it calls cinematic starship scenes. These are presented as long stat blocks that provide a task for the players to overcome while aboard a specific starship. For example, one starship scene is for an asteroid ambush. Not any scenario when the players might battle within an asteroid field, but a specific event where the players are aboard an Ulrika Clan Holdings Rockhopper starship and are ambushed by a single specific Aoxian scout vessel. No maps or minis are needed and no complex rules for movement or phasing. I expect these cinematic starship rules to be used heavily in published adventures where there's more control over where, when, and how players encounter such scenes, but if you're looking for detailed tactical starship combat with rules for customizing your own starship, you'll need to wait for the upcoming Starfinder Tech Core rulebook, so consider cinematic scenes as sort of an appetizer before the full meal arrives sometime after the release of Alien Core. My ninth point is all about compatibility. Say you want to run Starfinder heroes in a Pathfinder world or vice versa. The Anachronistic Adventures chapter makes that possible. It provides guidance for time-shifted adventures, archaic worlds, and even mixing futuristic and fantasy equipment. And finally, what will this cost you? Starfinder GM Core retails for $69.99 in hardcover and $19.99 as a PDF. As a reminder, Paizo heavily discounts the PDFs for their core rulebooks to make this as accessible as possible. And that's 10 things to know about Starfinder GM Core. It's a toolbox, a setting guide, and a bridge between Pathfinder and Starfinder. If you've picked it up already, let me know your favorite new feature in the comments, and also let me know in the comments of any questions you have. As always, I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody who supports this channel. If this breakdown was helpful for you, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, take care, and happy gaming.